The observation deck of the unified coalition vessel Harmony hummed with the steady rhythm of deep space travel. Lisa sat cross-legged on the cold metal floor, her EVA helmet resting in her lap like a canvas waiting for inspiration. Around her, small containers of specialized paint, designed to withstand the vacuum of space and extreme temperatures, were arranged in a careful semicircle. She dipped a fine brush into brilliant crimson and began tracing the outline of Earth's continents along the helmet's curve. It was a human tradition, she'd explained to curious crew members before, personalizing one's equipment, making the sterile tools of survival into something more, something that spoke of home, of identity, of the stubborn human insistence that even in the void, beauty mattered. Lewis, her fellow human aboard the Harmony, had painted his helmet months ago with the constellation Orion, claiming it would guide him home. The Xanthari engineers had found it perplexing. The Kivreth tactical officers had deemed it inefficient. But Captain Mordash, a grizzled Telecan with scales like ancient armor, had simply nodded and said, "Your species marks its territory in strange ways." Lisa smiled at the memory as she added a sweep of blue for the Pacific Ocean. The other species didn't understand. Humans needed these touches of individuality, these small rebellions against the uniformity of space. It was what made them human. A soft chirping sound interrupted her concentration. She looked up to find 3 wren cubs tumbling through the observation deck's entrance, their oversized ears twitching with curiosity, and their 6-legged bodies moving with that peculiar bouncing gait unique to their species. The wren were the coalition's newest members, a feline-like race with fur that shifted colors with their emotions, currently displaying the pale blue of innocent curiosity. "Oh, hello there," Lisa said softly, setting down her brush. She'd been briefed about the wren family aboard the Harmony. Ambassador Krenal and her mate had brought their cubs on this diplomatic mission, believing exposure to other species would broaden their understanding. The cubs were approximately 6 years old in human terms, old enough to be curious about everything, young enough to have no filter. The smallest cub, her fur rippling with bands of violet excitement, crept closer. "What are you doing, human Lisa?" Her translator collar rendered the chirps and purrs into standard coalition speech. "I'm painting my helmet," Lisa explained, gesturing to her work. "See? I'm making it beautiful." The middle cub, bolder than his sibling, padded right up to the paint containers. "Why make equipment beautiful? Equipment is for function." His tone carried the rehearsed quality of something an adult had told him many times. Lisa laughed, a sound that made all 3 cubs' ears perk up with interest. "Because humans believe that function and beauty aren't enemies. We believe that the things we use, the tools that keep us alive, deserve to reflect who we are." She picked up the helmet, turning it so they could see Earth taking shape on its surface. "This is my home planet. When I'm out there," she pointed toward the viewing window and the endless starfield beyond, "I want to carry a piece of home with me." The largest cub tilted her head, processing this information. "You get comfort from images?" "Yes," Lisa said simply. "Humans are visual creatures. We draw, we paint, we photograph. We capture moments and memories and dreams, and we surround ourselves with them. It makes us feel less alone." The cubs exchanged glances, their fur flickering with colors Lisa was still learning to interpret. Pale green confusion mixed with orange fascination. They began chittering among themselves in their native tongue, too quickly for the translators to keep pace. "Would you like to try?" Lisa offered, gesturing to the paints. "You could add something to the design if you want." The cubs froze, their 6 eyes each widening in perfect synchronization. "Add to human equipment?" The smallest one whispered, as if Lisa had suggested something scandalous. "Why not?" Lisa grinned. "It'll be a symbol of friendship between our species. The first human-wren collaborative artwork in space." The boldness of the concept seemed to overwhelm them. They huddled together, whiskers twitching, tails curling and uncurling with agitation and excitement. Finally, the middle cub spoke. "Mother says humans are strange but kind, that you share food and stories and laughter freely, that you adopt other species' children when they are orphaned." His fur had gone deep gold, a color Lisa had learned meant profound respect. "We do," Lisa confirmed, "because we believe that kindness matters more than differences." Then, the largest cub stepped forward, her small paw hovering over the paint containers. Then we would be honored to add to your helmet, human Lisa. Lisa selected a vibrant purple, the color of Rin celebration she'd learned, and showed them how to dip their paws carefully. One by one, the cubs pressed their six-toed prints onto the helmet's surface, adding them around Earth like satellites, like protectors, like friends orbiting a shared world. They worked in companionable silence, the cubs' initial hesitation melting into genuine joy. They added prints in purple, in silver, in the iridescent gold used for Rin ceremonial markings. The design evolved from Lisa's solitary Earth into something greater, a planet surrounded by symbols of connection, of different species reaching out across the void to touch each other's lives. When Ambassador Kreenall arrived to collect her cubs an hour later, she stopped at the observation deck entrance, her fur cycling through a dozen colors in rapid succession. Surprise, confusion, concern, and finally, something that looked like deep emotion. They painted on your equipment, she said carefully. I apologize for their presumption. No apology needed, Lisa interrupted, holding up the helmet. Look what we created together. The ambassador studied the helmet for a long moment, her fur settling into deep crimson, the Rin color of profound significance. This is extraordinary, she whispered. You allowed my cubs to mark equipment that protects your life. You trusted them with something precious. They honored me by adding their prints, Lisa replied. Now when I'm out there in the black, I'll carry not just Earth but the Rin people with me. I'll remember that we're stronger together than apart. Lewis arrived at that moment, summoned by ship communication about the incident in the observation deck. He took one look at the helmet and burst out laughing, not mockery but pure delight. That's the most human thing I've ever seen, he declared. Turn a simple paint job into an interstellar peace treaty. The cubs, emboldened by the adults' reactions, bounced around Lisa's legs. Can we paint human Lewis's helmet too? The smallest one asked. Can we make more collaborative art? The middle one added. Can we learn more human traditions? The largest cub finished. Ambassador Kreenall's fur rippled with parental exasperation mixed with affection. You've created something dangerous here, human Lisa, she said, but her tone was warm. You've shown my cubs that different species can create beauty together. They'll never be content with the old ways again, the ways that kept species separate and suspicious. Lisa stood, cradling her helmet gently. Good, she said firmly. The old ways led to isolation. Maybe it's time for something new. Something like... She gestured to the paw prints adorning her helmet. Collaborative design, shared art, mixed crews not just for diplomatic necessity, but for friendship. Captain Mordash's voice crackled over the ship's communication system. All personnel, prepare for translation point in 15 minutes. EVA teams, suit up. Lisa placed her helmet on her head for the first time since painting it. Through the visor, she could see the cubs watching her with their large, bright eyes. She could see Ambassador Kreenall standing tall, her fur displaying colors of hope and possibility. She could see Lewis giving her a thumbs up, that peculiarly human gesture that meant approval, encouragement, solidarity. How does it feel? The smallest cub asked. Wearing art into danger? Lisa smiled, her voice carrying through the helmet's external speakers. It feels like carrying hope into the dark, she answered. It feels like reminding the universe that humans and Rin and all of us, we're not just survivors. We're creators. We're friends. We're family. As she walked toward the airlock, the cubs followed her to the corridor entrance, their paw prints visible on her helmet even from a distance. Behind her, she heard the largest cub whisper to her siblings. When I grow up, I want to be like human Lisa. I want to make beauty in dangerous places. I want to turn equipment into art and strangers into friends. Ambassador Kreenall's soft reply carried down the corridor. Then you've learned the most important lesson humans have to teach, little one. That hope and beauty aren't luxuries, they're necessities. They're what makes survival worth fighting for. Lisa stepped into the airlock, her helmet covered in earth and paw prints in human dreams and alien friendship. Outside, the cosmos waited, vast, dangerous, and infinite. But inside her helmet, she carried the marks of connection, the proof that different species could create something beautiful together. And that, she thought as the outer door opened to the stars, was the most human thing of all. The stubborn, optimistic, absolutely ridiculous belief that even in the cold vacuum of space, friendship and beauty would always find a way.